following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southeast.
Last night, Williams-Perez dazzled the home crowd with an 8-inning, 85-pitch masterpiece, while the Braves offense rallied with 10 hits and a 5-1 victory. Tonight, Aaron Blair takes his turn as part of the youngest starting pitching rotation in Major League Baseball. A series win is on the line at Turner Field tonight. It's the Braves and Phillies, and it starts now. We welcome you to Atlanta and Turner Field, where for the first time this year, the Braves have a chance to win a home series. They are head-to-head with the fighting Phillies from Philadelphia. And we'll have Braves baseball a little late tonight, 10 minutes later than normal. Some bad weather around the metro Atlanta area, but we should get the game in its entirety tonight. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark. Braves pitching, the story of the last 3 or 4 nights out. Joe, the young starters for Freddie Gonzalez are more than pulling their share.
Yeah, they're beginning to settle in. They're getting some confidence, and they're putting some good starts back to back. And it started about 2 starts ago with Mike Foltynewicz, who pitched an outstanding ball game and was very dominant. Matt Whistler came up on the short end of a game against the Phillies in this series. But then the third was Williams-Perez last night. As you said, talking about it in the opening comments, he was masterful last night, giving up only 1 hit and 1 run.
One of the great hallmarks of the Braves during their division title run in the 90s was the friendly competition between the big three. You know, Aaron Blair has seen what his rotation mates have done. I'm sure he'd like to top their work tonight.
Well, hopefully he was paying attention to something that was at the bottom line of that graphic, and that is very few walks. He has actually issued more walks than strikeouts recorded. But part of the issue so far for Aaron Blair has not been the way he pitched, but the way the team played defense behind him. There have been a couple of miscues that have really been damaging to his efforts. Hopefully tonight those won't be there. His 3 starts so far on the year, a very respectable ERA, and the Braves offensively have only scored 2 runs total when he's been in the ball game.
And I think tonight's game is going to be a fun, interesting contrast between the 2 23-year-old pitchers. Blair is a guy that pitches to contact. The man that's going for the Phillies almost gives up no contact.
Yeah, he doesn't give up much at all. Vince Velasquez is a guy that the Phillies got from Houston in the Ken Giles deal, and he has really come on the scene in gangbuster type style by striking out a lot of people. He throws hard. He had right there celebrating a 16 strikeout complete game performance against the Padres back in April. He averages 94 miles an hour. You see where that ranks. That's in the top 10, and he's also in the top 10 in strikeouts per 9 innings. This guy can bring it. He can top out around 97, 98. Sounds a little bit like Mike Foltynewicz.
Well, we'll see if the Braves can beat up on Mr. Velasquez and win the series outright. That would be a dream come true for Freddie Gonzalez, and it's been a dream come true day for a couple of Braves youngsters today. We'll talk about that with Kelsey as we return to Turner Field in Atlanta for Game 3 against the Phillies next.
Baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Welcome back for the rubber match of the Braves versus the Phillies. And you know, the past 2 days have been very special here at Turner Field. We saw a military surprise last night, and today there's a Make-A-Wish guest here, Connor. He has a rare form of kidney cancer and May actually marks 1 year of cancer-free. Now, his wish was to go to a Braves game and meet the players, and he was granted that wish. He had a surprise video in class of Gordon Beckham inviting him to the game tonight. Him and his friends and family took the Fox Sports Fan Express bus to the game, and two things he told me he wanted to do when he was here: see the clubhouse and see where the players eat. And Gordon Beckham, you saw right there, is taking him under his wing, showing him exactly what it's like to be a Brave. You see me there with him. He stole my mic, but you know, it's one of those things that puts things into perspective and definitely puts a much-needed smile on the players' faces in the clubhouse. And speaking of special days, the Braves hope it's going to be a special day for them as they try to pick up their first home series win of the season. Aaron Blair on the mound. Chip and Joe take it right back after the break.
Welcome back to Turner Field in Atlanta, where our first pitch will be delayed about 10 minutes. We were told a few moments ago that first pitch will be around 7:20 tonight. Threatening weather all around the metro Atlanta area. Ed Mangan, as you see, has the tarp at the ready should it be needed, but the field has been lined. They're watering down the infield dirt, and we will have Braves Phillies baseball in just a few more moments. While we have a minute, let's take a look at the T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball, and boy, were there a couple of great performances last night around the major leagues. Let's start with Max Scherzer and the Nationals, Joe.
You know what was interesting to me about that outing? 20 strikeouts tied the major league record. 3 other guys hold that record with him, but that he was in danger of coming out of the game. It was a tough ball game. He won it. It was a close game, 3-2. So when he wasn't striking anybody out, or striking somebody out, he was giving up some hard-to-hit balls. And then the other guy,
Mr. Syndergaard?
Yes.
I'd say he had a pretty good day against the Dodgers. First pitcher with a 2-homer game since 2007. But first, let's look at what Max Scherzer did. I mean, he had Bugs Bunny type pitching working.
Yeah, a lot of high fastballs here you'll see. And guys swinging and chasing and whiffing. What a night for him. And no walks again.
Right.
In keeping with his 2 no-hitters last year where he didn't walk anybody.
I mean, Max Scherzer threw 119 pitches, Joe, only 23 balls as he struck out 20 Detroit Tigers, and he had a chance for number 21, but I think a ground out ended the game.
That's
for the
correct.
Tigers.
And I think he struck out the side twice on 9 pitches.
Wow. And then Noah Syndergaard out in Los Angeles. Not one, but 2 tape measure home runs against LA.
Well up into the seats. And the other home run hitting pitcher for the Mets, Bartolo Colon, showed his approval. And then he goes the other way. Syndergaard with another launch.
How about this stat for the Mets pitching staff? Their last time through the rotation, their pitchers have 6 hits in their last 15 at-bats, 3 homers, and 7 RBIs. And yes, chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah, this was on the Mets Twitter account. I don't know what that is, but it was on what they put out there today, and I thought that was hilarious.
Micah Owings was the last pitcher to hit 2 homers in a game. That was right here against the Atlanta Braves in 2007. Malik Smith and the Braves getting ready for Vincent Velasquez and the Phillies. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. It's Game 3 of the series from Atlanta next. There's Aaron Blair making his way toward the Atlanta dugout, preparing to make his 4th big league start for the Braves tonight. Lineup cards being exchanged behind home plate. Ed Mangan and the ground crew just about set to roll up the tarp, and we're just a few minutes away from Game 3 of this series. Braves trying to earn their 3rd home victory, their 9th overall victory on this 2016 season. This wraps up the homestand for the Braves. We start our longest road trip of the season tomorrow in Kansas City with a date with the Royals, the defending world champions, 4 in Pittsburgh against the Pirates, and then 1 more series with the Phillies in Philadelphia.
Much rather that long road trip be in early in part of the season and not late in the season as the rain begins to fall.
delightful. Hopefully it won't be a heavy downpour, and we'll get started here in just a moment. But first things first, time for our national anthem. It'll be performed by the West Side Atlanta Charter School. They get set right down the first base line in front of the Braves home dugout.
Stand up and make some noise for your Atlanta Braves.
Apparently this rain's not going to be long lasting, or they wouldn't be rolling the tarp up.
Yeah, Braves are going to take the field now. Timing's a little off because of the wet weather. And this is sort of a new feature at Turner Field this year. The Braves take the field during the national anthem singing, and Freddie Gonzalez, his players and staff, along with the Phillies, they stand in front of their dugouts, and once again the West Side Atlanta Charter School is ready to go. So the rain continues to fall. We'll get this thing started under a light shower. That's Aaron Blair. He's going to the post for the 4th time in the big leagues, looking for his first win. And here's the Atlanta defense behind him. As Joe said, and rightly so, the Braves' glove work has been rather harmful to Aaron Blair's quest to picking up that elusive first major league win. In left field, you've got Ender Inciarte, Malik Smith in center, Nick Markakis in right, Beckham, Ibar, Johnson, and Freeman around the horn. A.J. Brzezinski with a milestone performance tonight. That's what we hope to see from Aaron Blair as well, too.
Here are the numbers for his first 3 starts. A very respectable, as I said, ERA of 3.31. But the walks, that's an area he can help himself. Cut down on the walks. He is a guy who pitches to contact, doesn't have that many strikeouts. So if you're pitching to contact, throw a few more strikes, especially early in the count, and that will help tonight as it did last night for Williams Perez, getting some early runs. So let's go to the 4 keys to pitching success. That's included in his keys tonight. More O, a lot more offense, and get him some runs early. That would help, as I said, and better D. It's not so much that there have been a ton of errors made as much as there have been plays that could not or were not scored as errors that could have easily been led to many more unearned runs.
Yeah, against the Diamondbacks, the line drive to Garcia at third that wasn't caught, and then the Braves had Paul Goldschmidt picked off a high throw. He was safe at second. That led to 2 of the first 3 runs for the Diamondbacks next time out. So can't afford that. As the Phillies come up, they are road weary. The Phillies have played more road games than any team in Major League Baseball. They can't wait to get back to Citizens Bank Ballpark. And they can't wait to get Odubel Herrera in the batter's box. He's hitting .317 on the year. Ryan Howard's back in there, as you'd expect, after another homer here against the Braves. And Peter Borges is the secondary leadoff man. He'll hit 9th. Borges has a couple of hits in the series and is batting .250 on this extended Phillies road trip. So Odubel Herrera is ready to go for the Phillies. They've been outscored by 30 runs this year, yet they're 19-15 on the season. 2.5 games behind the Mets in the East. And a first pitch strike, and we're underway. 75 degrees and a light rain. like that. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I wasn't aware until today about the Phillies, who have been really on an extended road trip. They had one 3-day rest stop at home, which is like a continuation of a road trip. They were on the road for a week at Milwaukee and Washington with a day off on the road, home for 3 days, and now they've been gone for 10 days with a day off here in Atlanta.
That's outside to Herrera. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Can you imagine poor Tom McCarthy's dry cleaning bill after this trip for the Phillies?
No.
Yikes.
Think of all the fluids it would take to clean that.
The pitch just missed. And from 0-2 to 3-2 now. Herrera's had a terrific trip. 13 hits in 37 at bats. And that's sliced out of play, foul. And the count remains full. Deep counts have cost Aaron Blair. Shoddy defense has cost Aaron Blair. He's not a strikeout guy. He is a pitch to contact pitcher. 9 walks for Aaron so far this season. And 5 strikeouts. And he lost the leadoff man.
Aaron's a sinker ball guy, and he's got real good movement on his fastball down and away to lefties. But on that occasion, you got to make a little better pitch. You don't want to walk the leadoff guy. Make a better pitch. If you're ahead in the count, that 3-2 pitch was perfect, because you might get him to swing at one that's a little off the plate.
Let's see how aggressively Pete Mackanin and the Phillies played here in the first inning. This is Andres Blanco hitting .324 for the year and making his 7th start. Blanco's at second base tonight. And that missed upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Like the Braves, the Phillies are looking for offense any place they can find it. Cesar Hernandez gets the night off tonight. And Pete Mackanin able to plug Blanco in with a good batting average and hitting second. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good breaking ball there.
Runner goes. Pitch outside. AJ's throws into center field. And Herrera never saw the baseball as he dived in head first. It's a stolen base for the Phillies center fielder. And he stands at second with nobody out.
His 6th swipe of the year. Been caught twice. And going in head first, he has no idea that the ball sailed into center field. Brzezinski now 3 for 19 on base stealers.
So a hit might score a run for the Phillies. Blanco ahead in the count. And that skied foul to the left side. It's now 2-2. With Velasquez pitching and with his strikeout ability, an early run for the Phillies could be huge in this game. Let's see if Blair can wiggle out of trouble here in the opening inning. Bouncing ball left side. That's through for a hit. Herrera was breaking back towards second. And the Phillies have runners at first and third with nobody out.
one. Didn't sink. It just stayed flat and up in the zone. That's why he was able to take it the other way. I'd say the baseball is really wet when it's being thrown in right now too.
So Michael Franco is up for the Phillies. 7 homers, 18 RBIs. One of those homers came here in Atlanta, and that backed him off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. That's hammered foul, even count. Another reason why the Phillies are 4 games over 500 in 18 games this year. The Phillies have scored the first run. And with their terrific starting pitching, they've made that stand up more often than not. The Phillies have lost only 5 games of those 18 when they've played at the first run of the game.
And as much as they've been playing on the road, when that happens on the road, a distinct advantage. Franco had a great game here in game 1, 3 for 4 with a homer, kind of snapped out of a slump, but last night 0 for 4 with 2 punch outs. Braves would settle for a ground ball and a double play here.
That stayed high. 3 balls and a strike. Franco's a tough man to walk. He's only walked 7 times in 125 at bats. He's way ahead here, 3-1. And that's popped up towards center. Malik Smith settles and makes the catch. The Braves will concede the run. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Franco, and the leadoff walk comes home for the Phillies. 1-0 your score.
Nineteenth RBI for Franco. That leadoff man gets on in the first inning. There's just a lot of ways to get him around, especially when you can run like Herrera and swipe a bag and be in scoring position for everybody.
And that brings up 3-time All-Star for the Phillies, Ryan Howard. Who will shed a whole bucket full of crocodile tears when Turner Field closes. He loves hitting in this ballpark. 22 lifetime homers here in downtown Atlanta. Shift on for him. The pitch is pulled foul at first.
Blanco's only attempted 1 stolen base. He was caught that one effort. And that caused Aaron to rush on a slide step there where he was nowhere near the plate.
19 pitches, 10 balls for Aaron Blair so far.
That's a pretty good pitch. Breaking ball.
Pulled a string there, and Howard didn't get it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Change up. Dropped right behind the plate. Good spot.
Now the 2-2. And a high hopper hit to the right side. In between hop. And Kelly Johnson makes the sure play at first. Nobody covers third base. And Blanco makes it there without a play. Braves were in a shift. And Blanco took advantage. Nobody got back to the third base bag on the ground ball to the right side. And he's at third base with 2 outs.
We've seen this many times on a shift where the only person on the left side of the diamond had to really hustle over to third base to make sure that the runner didn't advance. This time, nobody there. Ibar broke, but too late.
So Freddie Galvis with 2 outs. Couldn't check his swing, and that costs him a strike.
Here's another one of those plays that we were talking about, though, Chip, that could ultimately cost Aaron a run because somebody forgot to cover third.
That missed up and away. 2 balls and a strike. Are those pitches that might get swings in AAA?
I don't think so. Not tonight. He's off the mark on that sinker away to lefties.
Might have been his best fastball right there.
Yep. But you can see those earlier pitches on our Fox tracks and how far they are off our strike zone. Hitters have got to have a pitch. If they're going to offer it the sinker, it's got to start in the zone and then break out.
Fly ball toward left center. Malik Smith on the run, slowing at the edge of the track, and that'll retire the side. Blair threw 28 first inning pitches, gave up a run after a leadoff walk. pitch. Nick Markakis ready to go for Atlanta. Look at the Phillies defensive lineup. They are looking for production from their corner outfielders. They've not gotten much, so David Lowe gets a shot tonight. Know about Franco and Howard on the corners. Vincent Velasquez is the man on the mound. A very talented kid who's already won 4 of his first 5 decisions this year.
Here's something very interesting about him, though. This is upside down from what we usually see. But because he throws so hard, it's hard to get anybody on base. He's only given up a 148 average with nobody on. Then teams are able to do some damage. It's just a matter of getting somebody on. 25 hits allowed in 37 innings. That's amazing.
And 44 strikeouts, 16 of them in one start earlier this year for the Phillies. So he starts Markakis with a quick strike. And Nick down 0-1. He's done a terrific job leading off for the Braves. 13 walks, 13 RBIs, and a .280 batting average. Freddie Gonzalez said before the game, with Atlanta heading to Kansas City and interleague play tomorrow, that there's a pretty good chance Nick Markakis will be the designated hitter against the Royals. Nothing in 2 from Velasquez. And 95 off the mark. 1-2. And he got a feeble swing out of Markakis on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and Velasquez doing what he does. He strikes out his first man.
Well, he's come out blazing tonight. His last couple of starts had the Phillies concerned because he was around 92 miles an hour and nobody could figure out what was going on. And 2 starts ago they were playing in some misty, rainy conditions, and he was uncomfortable on the mound, and it was almost like he was just trying to make sure he didn't hurt himself. And then when they did some work with some drying agent, spread that on the mound, he was comfortable. All of a sudden he jumped up to 95, 96.
Misty, rainy conditions tonight. No problem with the mound, and as you said, no problem with the radar gun.
Yeah, he's comfortable and come out letting it go.
Little chopper hit towards short. Galvis smooth as silk. Low throw to first. Dug out by Ryan Howard. 2 down.
Velasquez is 23 years old. He'll be 24 next month. 6'3", 205. Lives in Pomona, California. Was a second-round pick by Houston in 2010. And at the end of near the end of the 2010 season, he had to have Tommy John surgery. So he's already been through that.
Rare too, Joe. He has not thrown a pitch in AAA as a professional. All the way up from AA to Houston last year, where he pitched in 19 games, started 7 of them. Freddie Freeman is red hot for the Braves. Those are his season numbers. And wait till you see what Freddie's done in our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot feature. Belt tie strike 0-2, and here it is.
Raised his average 122 points over those 16 games. Eight for 19 on the homestand with 3 homers.
Swing and a miss at 95 miles an hour. 2 more strikeouts for Velasquez. 3 outs on 10 pitches. And off we go to the second. Braves fans, as you know, SunTrust Park season tickets are on sale, and with a ballpark capacity of 41,500 and seats right on top of the action, SunTrust Park will offer the best sightlines in baseball. Act fast to get the best seats before they're gone. Visit Braves.com/SunTrust Park and get your tickets today. Our thanks to Derek Schiller for joining us last night, letting us know how things were going. They are, Braves, very excited about the early response for season tickets.
And those guys are clipping right along on the project too, working day and night.
So let's see if Aaron Blair has a little better luck here in the second inning. He's had at least 2 base runners in the first inning in each of his first 4 big league starts. That one's bounced toward third by Rupp. Gordon Beckham with the toss across in time for the first out. And while I think Aaron's done a good job, Joe, of minimizing the damage, high pitch counts and those early runs put a lot of pressure on a Braves offense that's already under the gun.
And again, in a couple of his starts, he was pitching real well, but the pitch count got so high it was time to come out of the ball game, even though he'd only gone 5 innings. So he's got to do something about that first inning and first inning problems.
Yeah, 28 pitches in the first tonight. 2 so far here in the second as he takes a peek at David Lowe. Lowe is a former Royal and Oriole. Phillies signed him as a minor league free agent. No homers and 3 RBIs for David. That is Lowe.
Low to low.
Yes.
Not to be confused with fair to middle.
Right. Lowe was called up on April 18th. Hit 280 at Lehigh Valley. Has just 2 hits in his last 13 at bats. That covers 7 games, so it's been tough for Lowe to get consistent at bats. And now a full count.
Lehigh Valley, is that an area or is that a town?
That's a good question. I know the team name is the Iron Pigs, one of the best minor league names around. I'm guessing it's like Gwinnett. Right? I mean, yeah. Gwinnett Stadium's closer to Lawrenceville, but they're called the Gwinnett Braves. I'm not sure what city's closest to.
Yeah, but that's even a county, you know.
Yeah,
Gwinnett.
right. Yeah.
So I don't know if Lehigh Valley's a county or.
I don't know the answer to that.
Jason's looking it up for us.
Fouled away. Hey, great catch. That's why you bring your glove to the ballpark. Fan from Kirkwood made that play. Check this out. 2 hands and everything.
Nicely done there.
To center. And Malik Smith twists and turns and makes the play. 2 out.
Okay, officially Lehigh Valley, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, is the Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, PA, New Jersey metropolitan statistical area.
Okay.
Referred to colloquially as the Valley. It's just a metropolitan region that encompasses 3 or 4 areas.
Wasn't the world champion prize fighter, wasn't Larry Holmes from Easton, Pennsylvania? I think he was.
Yeah, I think so.
Had a bad experience in Allentown once. Whew. Got snowed in at the Allentown Hilton with the Orlando Magic for 4 days. Trying to fly to Philadelphia. It was snowing so hard they couldn't open the doors. If there had been a fire, they would have had problems. And of course, second night in, somebody pulls the fire alarm. So the Magic, that one's tipped, with Shaquille O'Neal and Nick Anderson and Penny Hardaway, Horace Grant, at 3 o'clock in the morning, come traipsing down the fire escape stairs to get to the lobby. being followed by the Sesame Street on Ice characters.
Oh, nice.
And Marilyn Manson. Bouncing ball up the middle. Kelly Johnson with a backhand. Velasquez is going to reach with an infield hit. So Richie Adubato, who was the assistant coach for the Magic at the time, New York accent, just a great guy. We're all miserable. Can't wait to get home. He looks over his shoulder and sees Marilyn Manson in his full concert regalia coming down the steps, and he says, "Now I know I've got to be in hell." That was quite a trip in more ways than one. So we move on. Here's Peter Borges, runner first with 2 outs. 1-0 Phillies. And a high pop fly, shallow right. Nick Markakis is there, and that'll do it.
I was just thinking about with the Orlando Magic in those days with those other characters that showed up. It was kind of hard to tell the players from the entertainers.
You know what? Now that you put it that way, you're absolutely right. Tonight we'll be headed to Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Our pal Mac Honey and our friends at Delta will take us safely to Kansas City, where we'll start a series with the Royals tomorrow night. 1-0 Phillies. We head to the home half of inning number 2. Kelly Johnson, A.J. Przinsky, and Gordon Beckham are coming up.
This will be fun to watch tonight. Guy that's outstanding fastball hitter against an outstanding fastball.
As we showed you last night, Kelly's worn out the Phillies over his last 21 games. He's got a couple of hits in the series, 3 in fact. And the Phillies are looking for their first base runner. Velasquez with a couple of first inning strikeouts, needed just 10 pitches to get through the opening inning. And you look at this Eastern Division, all the flamethrowers that National League East has. You know all about the Mets staff. The Marlins have 3 or 4 hard throwers. Talked about Max Scherzer striking out 20 guys. Steven Strasburg's having a career year. This is not a division for hitters who are faint of heart.
Yeah, this is not a soft tossing division.
I'll be interested to see how long Velasquez can maintain 94-95 tonight. That's what makes Fulton Everett so fun to watch for the Braves. He's a legit 96-97, and he can do that in the 7th and 8th innings.
Yes, he can.
Kelly Johnson coaxed a walk. Good eye. And here comes A.J. Brzezinski, a big milestone for the Braves catcher tonight. A.J. Brzezinski this evening is playing in his 2000th Major League game.
That's quite a mark. The 2,000 hits that he reached in Boston is a huge milestone, but for a catcher to catch that many games, to stay healthy that long, really something.
He's been on the disabled list twice, and I asked AJ about that. He said one was an oblique, which happens. The other one, I got hit on the wrist and broke my wrist. That's it. Over a 19-year big league career. Closing in, as you saw, on Johnny Bench for 9th place on the hits list by a catcher. AJ knocked in a run with a sac fly in the series. He'll try to chase Kelly Johnson around with nobody out.
When you start looking at where AJ ranks in all these different categories for catchers, I mean, it brings to mind Hall of Fame considerations. I mean, there are a lot of people that are going to have a lot more hits than AJ, but they weren't catchers. And you think about what they had to do and put up with as catchers for so long. He's in a conversation for that.
Driven toward right, and there's out number one. Would you consider, maybe not at this stage in his career, but for his career, would you consider A.J. Brzezinski to be an offensive catcher or an all-around catcher?
I consider him an offensive catcher.
Then does it surprise you that he has the best fielding percentage in the history of the game?
No, because as a young man, he had that reputation too.
66 career errors and over 13,000 chances. So 2,000 hits. #1 fielding percentage. He's got a ring. He's played 19 years. He's been durable. I think you make an excellent point about that Hall of Fame discussion.
It's another guy on that list of catchers that should have long ago warranted some stronger Hall of Fame consideration. That's Ted Simmons, who now works for the Braves.
Swing and a miss by Gordon Beckham, who was a little late. Beckham's 1 for 4 in the series. Two.
We go back to that situational hitting now for Velasquez. That's where he's been at his weakest, working out of the stretch.
Velasquez, part of that big haul that the Phillies got for Ken Giles and Jonathan Aroche, the infielder. Mark Apple also came over in that deal. Brett Oberholzer, Thomas Eshelman, and Harold Aroche. Two balls, 2 strikes for the Braves third baseman Gordon Beckham. Galvis steps on the bag and fires to first, and that's an easy double play. Velasquez has faced the minimum through his first 2 innings of work. He leads by a run, and the top of the Phillies order is coming up.
Going into the third, and speaking of the Phillies, their first base coach loves playing the Braves, especially when you talk back in his playing days. Check this out. Mickey Morandini hit .344 versus Greg Maddux, .351 versus John Smoltz, and .282 versus Tom Glavine. And you know what? Both Maddux and Smoltz mentioned him in their Hall of Fame induction speeches when they asked him who are some of the toughest hitters you've faced. So those are two names to be mentioned, and that's a big deal. And to have those numbers against Glavine too just shows how good he was against the Braves, guys.
No question about it. I mean, I don't know if anybody else can claim that kind of combo on Maddux and Smoltz.
The only guy that I can think of might be Tony Gwynn.
Yeah.
That might be the only one that did that kind of damage.
And I may be way off. I'm not sure, but Vladimir Guerrero seemed to really give Maddux a hard time too.
Really?
Yeah. Couldn't throw him, couldn't set him up. I mean, he's swinging at everything.
Well, didn't pitchers say the best way to get him out is throw a fastball right down the middle?
Right down the middle. It was often suggested that catchers just tell Tony Gwynn what was coming. See if that worked.
Odubel Herrera leads off the third. Boy, do we miss Tony Gwynn. Does baseball miss Tony Gwynn? Great hitter, great ambassador, college coach at San Diego State. Taken way too soon as Herrera singles to lead off the third. He's aboard for a second time, and the Phillies have their third hit.
Tony Gwynn at .429 against Maddux.
.429.
.462 off John Smoltz. .462.
Unbelievable. And every time the Braves played the Padres, and you've covered the Braves a lot longer than I did, and certainly in the era in which Tony Gwynn and the Braves faced off a lot. As Andres Blanco digs in. Didn't it always seem when the Braves played the Padres, if the game was on the line, the lineup could be in the fifth spot going to the ninth inning? Somehow, some way, Tony Gwynn was going to come up with the game on the line against any number of Braves pitchers.
No question.
One of the best. 1 ball, no strikes.
Gretchen just said Tony Gwynn hit .352 lifetime against Atlanta. In the era of the big three.
Right. So maybe that's how you tell if a player is really a great player or not. How did he do against the other great players? Loved watching Tony Gwynn hit. 1 ball, 1 strike. He was leaning and he just got back.
He was really leaning and gave it away when he was going to second in the first inning. There are a lot of things to like about Herrera, and the Phillies do like, but they also know there's some things that he's still raw on. Some defensive things, and base running's another.
Yeah, Herrera's had his share of errors for the Phillies. 5 of them, in fact. That's more than any other player on their team. And we're told most of them, Joe, are on plays with the balls in front of him.
Yeah, ground balls. Yeah, and last night he was charged with an error that he shouldn't have been on the double by Beckham. Still can't believe they haven't changed that.
Foul at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wasn't Herrera a second baseman?
Yes.
So it seems odd that he'd have trouble on ground balls as an outfielder. But
well, one of the things about when you learn to play the outfield and you're taught to charge the ball is that you do have to break it down a little bit and get yourself under control when you field the ball. Once you get to the ball, slow down. Just don't run blindly as fast as you can and overcharge.
Not going. Ground ball to second, might be two. There's one. And it is a double play. There's the sinker for Aaron Blair. That worked nicely. Phillies hit into a double play. 2 outs for Franco. Franco with a sac fly brought home the game's only run. Seven home runs, 19 RBIs for Franco. He's second among National League third basemen in both of those categories. Nolan Arenado of the Rockies has the most home runs as a third baseman, and the Reds' Eugenio Suarez has the most RBIs. Strike two.
Took a lot off his swing, didn't he?
Yeah. He does not. The old saying, he does not get cheated, does
no.
he? Yeah.
0-2. He is still just trying to hit one downtown.
Oh, a flinch by Mike Winters, but Blair didn't get the right hand raised.
Good pitch, too.
Swing and a miss. That ball backed up, and Franco missed it by a foot. Blair gave up a single, got a double play and a strikeout to send this game to the home third. He's coming up second. He's down 1-0. Third, 1-0 Phillies have the lead. It's also time for our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard.
Highest fastball percentage. We showed you this when we were playing the Mets and Bartolo Colon with his 87% fastballs. Well, Vince Velasquez is fifth on that list at 70%. He's also got a curveball and a changeup. But as you can see, mostly fastballs. Why not?
That is the first pitch he has thrown tonight slower than 92 miles an hour. And he really backed off. That was 91. As Eric Ibar leads off for the Braves. Ibar 1 for 7 with an RBI in the series.
Well, how about this? I mean, with respect to what Houston has done to rebuild their franchise and got to the playoffs, should have beaten. They had the Kansas City Royals on the ropes, should have beaten them in the first round and let them off the hook. But one of the things with all the draft picks that the Astros were getting when they were really scuffling, and we've talked about this, their first pick in 2010 was Mike Foltynewicz. Their second pick in 2010 was Vince Velasquez.
And Mark Apple was first round pick,
yes.
right? And isn't that the big criticism of the Astros as to why they're off to such a slow start? They have Dallas Keuchel, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, but a staff of pitch to contact, somewhat finesse pitchers. So in going for it like Houston did last year, they traded an awful lot of heat.
They did.
And think where they'd be if they had these guys in their rotation, perhaps.
Correa was another number 1 pick for them, and what a player he is.
Ryan Howard at first, and he'll make the play for out number 1. And here's Aaron Blair. Aaron's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Braves looking for their first base hit tonight. I think it'll be interesting to follow Velasquez all year long for the Phillies for this reason too. He has never pitched more than 124 2/3 innings at any level as a professional pitcher. Last year almost 89 innings in total between Corpus Christi and Houston.
Yeah, that figures to be about really around the 1st of August. I mean, where you shut him down if that were the case. So he's going to be really tested at the end of the year.
Blair shoots one to right, and that'll drop for a hit. His first big league hit, and the first hit of the night for Atlanta. So that'll go to the trophy case.
Way to go, Aaron. You hit a guy for your first big league hit that nobody can hit.
Funny how that works, right?
Yeah.
Well, hitting everybody has been the specialty of Mallex Smith of late. He's flourished in the number 9 spot and hitting .357 in his last 10 games.
Here's the baseball for Aaron's trophy case. Good fastball outside corner and dumped it in front of Borges.
Franco in on the grass at third, and Smith golfs that out of play. 0-2. Seven of Mallex Smith's first 16 career hits have been for extra bases. 6 doubles and a homer. He had a good cut at that one. And he appears to be getting more comfortable in the big leagues.
Absolutely. And while those first 10 games, first 15 games, we were talking about how he was overmatched and swinging it wildly at a lot of bad pitches. He's cut down on that too. He's been more patient. Certainly playing with a lot more confidence.
toward left, and that'll be playable for Lowe. He's got it. Alex hit it a long way, but he's retired for the second out. Player back to first.
One of the things that you've got to be conscious of against a hard thrower like this is that what you normally do at the plate, if it's a stride, no stride, whatever it is, you've got to get that front foot down a little quicker tonight than you would have last night. And that's with all due respect to Eichhoff or any other pitcher. When a guy's throwing this hard, you've got to get everything done before he releases it so you can let your hands work.
Nick Markakis struck out on a check swing his first time up. Velasquez pitching, not just throwing here in the first 3 innings. He has 2 strikeouts. He's given up his first hit, and he's ahead of Nick. No balls and a strike. Yeah, everybody loves watching guys throw hard. It's fun. It's exciting. You see the radar gun. You see the strikeout totals. I get excited when guys pitch like Foltynewicz did in his last start. When you have the velocity and the marksmanship, you can really see major league pitchers carve up major league lineups. Now he's in and out, up and downing Nick Markakis. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, look what Williams Perez did last night.
Good point.
He fired a couple of 94s when he was ahead in the count to see if the hitters would chase it, but otherwise he was around 91 all night long with great movement. Excellent change up, good breaking ball. A pleasure to watch.
Velasquez thought that was good enough. Williams Perez in the game last night, 3rd Brave since 2000 to throw 8 innings or more and throw fewer than 85 pitches, and was the first Brave to allow 2 or fewer runners in a game since Jair Jurgens in 2011. And Jurgens had a 1-hit, 1-walk game against Baltimore.
I was going to say, I think that was a 1-hitter.
You better make sure you talk to Williams before every start and say go 9.
Yes, I told him today. I said, you didn't listen, did you?
2 balls, 2 strikes for Nick. Swing and a miss, high fastball at 95. Got Markakis for the second time. 3 strikeouts for Velasquez, who leads by a run. Head to inning number 4. Vincent Velasquez, 3 strikeouts in his first 3 innings. Aaron Blair walked the leadoff man, gave up a sacrifice fly for the game's only run. Since then has settled in and pitched better, and that's as we said earlier, something he's got to work on, trying to get out of that first inning with an easy frame. He had to throw 28 pitches to get the first 3 outs tonight.
Well, last night Williams struck out 4 guys, and there was never any long run of strikeouts. They were mixed in through his 8 innings. He was having quick, fast innings by the Phillies, swinging at the first pitch, second pitch, ground balls. The defense was on its toes. It's like somebody suggested today it may have been the most complete game the Braves have played all year. Offense, defense, and great pitching.
And it's funny how it all goes hand in hand, right? But when you ball 1, ball 2, there's all of a sudden a lot of pawing around in the infield and outfield. As Ryan Howard leads off and is ahead 2-0. Change of pace there, got Howard to swing and miss. 2 balls and a strike. Be very careful here.
When Howard grounded out in the first inning, and then Blanco in turn took third, rounding second, nobody was covering. Beckham was playing out in shallow right field, and Ibar was behind the bag. I don't know if the fact that there's no runner on base right now, if that's what caused the change with Beckham staying on the left side. No runner to worry about on the bases, but different than the shift they employed in the first inning. And another leadoff walk.
Second of the game for Blair. That brings up Freddie Galvis. Galvis flied out to end the Phillies first. He's running into the Phillies as AJ is going to talk it over again as he falls behind.
Yeah, there needs to be a little wake-up call here. Quit nibbling. You know, your ball's moving and everything, but trust your stuff and believe that even if you're a little more on the plate, they're still going to have a hard time elevating it. He's pitching a little bit like a guy who's been giving up a ton of homers. He doesn't want to make a mistake and give up a homer. He hasn't allowed one.
Freeman can play behind Ryan Howard. You don't figure Howard to be moving. 1 ball, no strikes. Fly ball right. Markakis back to the warning track, to the wall, and that's going to carry out.
That's my fault.
Freddie Galvis hits a 2-run homer for the Phillies. His 4th. And the leadoff walk is cashed in. Ryan Howard scores. That makes it 3-0.
Yep, that was on me. Maybe on AJ. AJ may have said the same thing to him.
So the Braves down 3 runs, and Cameron Rupp is in the batter's box. Rupp's the Phillies catcher. He bounced out to third his first time up. Action's begun in the Braves bullpen. As Blair about to make his 69th pitch. He's got nobody out here in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss. Rupp missed a sweeping slider. 2nd strikeout. 1 away. And it's Eric O'Flaherty up first.
Bouncing ball to second. Billy Johnson gets David Lowe on the first pitch. 2 outs.
There you go. Attacked the zone on Rupp. Got him to strike out after getting ahead 0-2. Struck out on a bad pitch. Around the plate, gets Lowe to swing and get ground out. Sometimes, and I didn't find this to be true for Aaron in his first 3 starts, sometimes you come up from the minor leagues and you give these hitters too much credit, and you, especially for a guy who relies on a real good, hard, heavy sinker, you give him too much credit. I thought he did a good job his first 3 starts of attacking the zone, getting the hitters to swing at his pitch. Tonight, he's just been a little bit off. That's all.
Vince Velasquez, the pitcher for the Phillies, has an infield hit tonight. And he bangs that one up the middle. Ibar can't get it. Kelly did. Long throw. Accurate throw. But Velasquez has another infield hit. Little scissor action up the middle. Ibar couldn't get it. Johnson did, but no chance to get the Phillies starter.
Good try by Kelly.
Five hits for the Phillies. And a strike. Peter Borges, the batter, he flied out his first time up. And that's out of play, foul right side. See if anybody makes a good play on this one. Nope, it'll bounce around. Fan picks up the souvenir. It's 0-2. Well, I got to hold him right here. Gretchen Caney tells us that the largest deficit the Braves have overcome this year is 3 runs.
Okay. Last time out, Velasquez gave up 4.
Chopper left side. Ibar's got it. He's going to fire to second. Too late. That'll be scored a hit.
Well, Eric knows that Borges can run. They were teammates. He knows how fast he is. He thought his best possibility was to go to second. Not so.
And that's going to be the end of the line for Aaron Blair. With Double Herrera coming up, it all unravels for Aaron in the 4th inning. The problems began with a leadoff walk, a Freddie Galvis 2-run homer, and now Velasquez and Borges aboard with infield hits. 3-0 Phillies. Phillies have the lead. It's time for tonight's Crickets. Something to smile about. The Braves did something terrific today, including Gordon Beckham. That's young Connor Meadows. He's here with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And Connor had a kidney tumor issue, and we understand that he is currently in remission. He's here at the ballpark today as the guest of the Braves, doing some good work with the ground crew. Got to meet Freddie Gonzalez and the players in the locker room, and he has been beaming from ear to ear all night.
I'm just going to say he is all smiles there, and somehow I don't think on that wish list was, can I go work my tail off with the ground crew during the game? That's what I really want to do.
Yeah,
that was funny. Well, good for him.
There was a video from Gordon Beckham that invited Connor to the game tonight at Pickett's Mill Elementary School in Ackworth. The Fox Sports fan bus brought him to the game tonight with friends and family. So just another wonderful community tribute by the Braves and Fox tonight. So
of course we had the military reunion last night. Gosh,
gets you every time, doesn't it?
Yep.
Awesome. So nicely done by the Braves and Gordon Beckham tonight, as Eric O'Flaherty takes over for Aaron Blair.
Eric's had a few days off. Hasn't pitched since the 6th against Arizona, when an inning gave up a hit and an unearned run. So he should be fresh, able to work multiple innings tonight if needed. Braves now with 3 left-handers in their bullpen. Ian Kroll and Hunter Cervenka also down there.
1 ball, 1 strike for Dubal Herrera, who's singled, walked, stolen a base, and has scored a run. It's head of the seats foul. And somebody lost a beverage on that foul.
Yes, they did. I don't think it was rainwater caught in a cup either.
No, it had to be somebody from Sandy Springs. One ball, 2 strikes. Little chopper, that's going to be trouble. Kelly's got it, flips with the glove. It's over everybody's head. A run's going to score, and moving to third on the play is Borges. It's another infield hit, and Velasquez scores on the Kelly Johnson error on the glove flip.
We've seen guys make this play a lot, to the extent that they make it look easy when they field the ball and shovel it to first base. But this one got hung up in the cesta, up in the webbing of Kelly's glove. So then there's very little control of it.
I don't know if I've seen 3 consecutive infield hits in a big league game in a long time. But we have here in the 4th inning. Phillies now lead 4-zip. And Andres Blanco is the 8th batter to hit in the inning. All these runs belong to Aaron Blair, who gave up 6 hits in 3 2/3 innings.
That one will be unearned, and any subsequent run will be unearned.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Blanco came into the game hitting .367 left-handed, and he has a hit tonight. left-handed. Right-handed 1 for 7.
Two. Braves will make their way to Kansas City after the game tonight. Royals have really been struggling, and they're losing again tonight in New York against the Yankees. Bad news for Kansas City. They had to put Chris Young and our old pal Chris Medlin on the disabled list today.
2 of their starters.
Chris Medlin having some rotator cuff issues after coming back from 2 Tommy John surgeries.
Well, the Braves will see Edinson Volquez tomorrow night against Julio Teheran. Dylan G, the former Met, will fill in for Chris Young on Saturday against Mike Foltynewicz. And then, is it David Duffy? Danny Duffy will come out of the bullpen and pitch on Sunday for them.
Swing and a miss ends the Phillies' 4th. They pick up 3 runs. The big blow of Freddie Galvis homer. It's 4-0 Titans.
Baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Phillies 4, Braves nothing. Now Vincent Velasquez has a nice cushion to play with. He scored the 4th and final Phillies run. And around the bases for a while. Let's see if there's any effect on Velasquez. By the way, is 2 for 2 at the plate. He's out hit the Braves by himself. Inciarte, Freeman, Kelly Johnson are coming up. And it's downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
His last start against Miami, no decision. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned. Gave up a homer. Walked 1, struck out 5. That was what was interesting about the leadoff walk in the 2nd inning to Kelly. Is that this guy doesn't walk many. That was only his 10th walk in what is now 40+ innings. Walks, make it 12 walks. I beg your pardon. 12 walks. Looking at the wrong category. 12 walks and 47 strikeouts.
That's a nice ratio.
Yes, it is.
1-1 pitch for Ender Inciarte. It's right there at 94. What do you think of this guy's delivery, Velasquez?
It's very simple. Very simple, very repeatable. It's not falling all over the place to try to throw 95.
Rupp took some punishment on that ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's headed foul. Look out, folks. Freddie Freeman to follow in fourth. Pretty good take. Might have been his best fastball.
Yeah.
Inside corner. Inciarte took that one at 94. Back-to-back strikeouts, 4 in total for Velasquez. And here's Freddie Freeman, who's had a hot series.
Tuesday night on our Zaxby's indescribably good play goes to the opposite field for the Braves' only run of the game. Or actually, did that make it 3-2? That did make it 3-2. And then last night, a launch job off of Jared Eichhoff. That was hit a long way.
So the early season frustrations of Freddie Freeman seem to be by the boards. He's back up to 287 for the year. 1 ball, 1 strike. April 25th, Freddie Gonzalez made a subtle lineup change. Well, maybe not so subtle. Remember, he dropped Freddie Freeman to 6th on the lineup card just to maybe help him shake out of it. It's funny how that sometimes works. Since then, Freddie Freeman has 22 hits and 53 at bats.
Yeah, it's almost like just a change of scenery.
Balls at a strike. And Yogi Berra said 90% of this game is half mental. It's so funny that you use that term, a change of a mental break from hitting 4th moving to 6th. It makes that big of a difference.
Or 3rd, it just changes the situations that come up. Maybe takes a little heat off of you to try to or make yourself drive in runs. Whatever it was, it worked.
Full count pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball.
I want to tell you something. That was against a red hot hitter. To make Freddie swing at that pitch tells you something. This was a late breaking slider or breaking ball, maybe his curveball. But watch how Freddie strides. His hands started, stopped, and then tried to finish because it was such a hard breaking ball that he knew all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to get called out if I don't swing at this.
3 straight strikeouts. And another strike, this one to Kelly Johnson.
Watch Freddie's hands on this swing. Stop, and then he had nothing left because he assumed that pitch was going to be a ball and then realized too late it wasn't.
That's fair at first. Ryan Howard steps on the bag, and Velasquez has been as good as advertised tonight. He leads 4-0 going to the 5th. Phillies in command, leading 4-0. Fans follow live baseball with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet. Eric O'Flaherty will work a full inning, we hope, as he faces Michael Franco. Who has a big sweeping swing and a miss. Phillies head home for a nice homestand. They've got the Reds, the Marlins, and the Braves coming up at Citizens Bank Park.
We were talking about this, what amounts to about a 3-week road trip with a 3-day homestand mixed in there. The side part of that is that this good run the Phillies have been on, their fans haven't seen them play.
Yeah. That's a good point. But they've got a winning record on the road. There's that one scorched toward right. And there's the first out. Phillies come in with an 11-10 road record. And they're 8-5 at home. So a chance to fatten their overall season mark with the homestand that starts against Cincinnati and their struggling pitching staff beginning tomorrow. One away for Howard. He has walked, scored, and grounded out. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Braves will go to Kansas City, as we've told you. 4 with the Pirates, 3 more with the Phillies on our upcoming 10-game road trip. As that one's lifted into left and playable for Inciarte. He's there. 2 outs. When the Braves get back home, we'll have an off day on May 23rd. The Brewers will come in for 3 games. The Marlins will come in for 3. And then the San Francisco Giants for 4. And that gets us into the early days of June. But still, Joe, no rest on the schedule for Atlanta with those clubs coming up.
No, and this next road trip is going to be a real challenge too. Those teams you mentioned, and that includes the last 3 of the trip with these Phillies.
Freddie Galvis with a homer last time up, a 2-run shot. He's also flied out. We mentioned the Royals and Chris Medlin getting hurt. They've called up Peter Moylan.
Yeah.
So we'll see Peter tomorrow. And another name is being talked about for Kansas City should Chris Medlin have any extended problems with the shoulder. And that's Mike Minor, who made a rehab start at AA last night. And I read he was touching 94-95 with his fastball.
No kidding.
Mike had some labrum problems. And hopefully he'll come back and pitch well in the big leagues soon. 8 pitches for O'Flaherty sends our game to the bottom of the 5th inning. There's another beautiful computer-generated view of the rendering of SunTrust Park, where season tickets are now on sale. The Battery Atlanta and SunTrust Park will soon offer the best entertainment experience in Atlanta. Great dining, boutique shops on site. Going to a Braves game will never be the same. Be a part of the excitement and get your tickets today at braves.com/SunTrust Park. It's turned out to be a beautiful night.
I can't wait to see it. With everything that's going to be going on there, it's going to be a beehive.
You got it. AJ pops it up. Galvis long run, still going out. Looks over the shoulder, can't make the grab. Where in the world was Lowe on that play?
Lowe should have called him off.
That's an error.
Galvis could feel him. He knew he was there. He sensed him. He probably could hear his footsteps and was worried that he couldn't hear him calling for it.
That snaps a 29 consecutive game errorless streak for Freddie Galvis.
That's too bad.
So the errors are even. The game is not. 4-0 Phillies. Here's Beckham. He hit into a double play his first time up. Yeah, what I think is going to be exciting about the new ballpark, obviously the newness of it, the proximity of the fans to the field, all the creature comforts that fans will have. But it truly will be an all-day event and experience. The game will never be secondary, but it will be part and parcel to something fans could do all day long at the Battery development. Balls at a strike. Now, if we could just convince Mike Plant and Derek Schiller to let you open your Joe's, fries, pies, wings, and things, we'd be in business.
I think that's got a ring to it.
Another double play ball. Galvis to second for one, and Blanco the turn. 2 outs.
He's not a guy that's throwing a sinker to get ground balls. He's throwing a fastball that jams a lot of hitters, that causes them to hit the ball on the ground.
Well, at least for this night, he's been as good as advertised. As Eric Ibar digs in, he bounced out to Ryan Howard. We're in the 5th already. 4-0 Philadelphia.
You know, I was thinking back to the pop-up that AJ hit. I'm having second thoughts on that ruling on the E6. See, there's what I was just talking about.
Another jam shot. We'll think about that error call in the bottom half of this inning. Talk about that as we head to the 6th. Velasquez in command.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is sponsored by the 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, Georgia Power, and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Couple of changes for the Braves as we are through 5 innings in Atlanta. Daniel Castro will take over for Eric Ibar at shortstop. Castro's going to hit in the 8th position, which will lead off the Atlanta 6th. And Bud Norris, who's done a pretty good job in relief, is on for his 9th game tonight.
Been a while since Bud's been out there too. He should be well rested. Everybody was rested last night because Williams Perez went 8 innings. Bud Norris's last outing was May 7th. And that was against Arizona. An inning, a hit, a run, a couple of walks.
Cameron Rupp is going to lead things off for the Phillies. He's 0 for 2, including a strikeout. Let's go back to the Galvis play. Pop up off the bat of A.J. Brzezinski. That was ruled an error.
Yeah, when a shortstop's got to go that far and with his back to the infield, trying to look over his shoulder, trying to make sure the left fielder doesn't run over him. I mean, he's literally sweeping at the ball hoping to catch it. That should have been a base hit.
There is no such thing in Major League Baseball as a team error. I think that one could fall under the category of a team error.
Sure.
Lowe probably had the better angle and easier play. As Rupp is down on strikes, 3 pitches, 1 out.
Yeah, I got to go base hit on that.
So that one might be changed as well after the game. We'll wait and see. Here is David Lowe. Lowe making his 11th start for the Phillies. With the win last night, Atlanta snapped its 11-game home losing streak. The Braves enter play tonight with 3 wins and 6 losses in the month of May. And Norris throwing hard. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tonight's start by Aaron Blair kind of snapped a real good streak the starting pitching had been on over the last 11 games. Real good ERA, low average against, real low whip, and pitching into the 7th inning on average. Run support still real low. But as we pointed out, especially the last 3 guys who have been outstanding, the last 11 have been good too, and the team has gone 4-7 over those 11.
And while that may not sound like much, remember how the Braves started overall, losing 9 straight, winning 4 straight, and then dropping 8 in a row in the month of April. And Lowe just got hit by a pitch on a 2-2 count.
So did AJ. Catchers sometimes get hurt worse on ricochets from the batter being hit than they do from foul tips. Off his knee, right, either in the arm or the gut. The odd thing is, for a catcher on something like that, they're turned in such a way that they're no longer facing the direction the ball's coming from. The ricochet gets them in places where the chest protector in this case can't help.
Velasquez lays down a bunt. Boy, he has had an impressive night at the plate, hasn't he?
Yep.
2 hits, a run scored, and now a perfect sacrifice. And that'll bring up Peter Borges. This series between the Braves and Phillies from an offensive standpoint was described by one of the crusty Philadelphia columnists as a slap fight. Neither club has been very good offensively. As that one's lined to third and right at Beckham, and that'll retire the side.
Wasn't anything slappy about that?
No, that was smoked. Norris out of the 6th inning. Still 4-0 Phillies. Grammy Award winner Chris Stapleton's taken the country music scene by storm, and he's coming to Turner Field Sunday, May 29th for a free post-game concert, all part of the Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines Summer Concert Series. Go to Braves.com/concerts to get your tickets today.
Daughter Meg went to see Chris Stapleton out west.
Yeah.
Said it was a fabulous show. Great show, so I can't wait to see him here.
Should be a lot of fun. Hope you'll join us as Daniel Castro goes to work. And takes ball one. A couple other games in action. Padres and Brewers have no score. How about the Padres taking a doubleheader from the Cubs in Chicago?
Last game 1-0.
Christian Bethancourt hit a home run off John Lackey and apparently admired it a little bit too much to Mr. Lackey's liking, and he said, huh, how many home runs has he hit? And I have a very long memory. So
you might remember he was a little upset with Mr. Johnson on the Braves for just attempting a bunt against him, so he's a little crusty.
Yes. Giants are in Arizona at 9:40 Eastern time. Cueto and Greinke. Zach Greinke's 8-0 lifetime against San Francisco. Mile high pop up. Ryan Howard at first says he's got it, and he does. That's one thing about Zach Greinke. If memory serves, he has an incredible record against teams in the National League West.
Yes, he does.
And he's pitched well his last couple of games out. Arizona, though, just 5-12 in Chase Field. They'll try to improve that in tonight's series opener with the Giants. Here's Mallex Smith. Mallex flied out to left his first time up. The Mets are in LA tonight. I'm betting Bartolo Colon's going to hit a home run off Clayton Kershaw tonight. He's hot.
Okay.
Right?
Should get pretty good odds on that.
Clayton Kershaw is Clayton Kershaw again. In regular season play, 6-0 against the Mets. 64 strikeouts, 3 walks.
That's a good ratio.
Yeah. Mets got 2 homers from Noah Syndergaard last night. Only the second Mets pitcher to hit 2 homers in a game. You know who the other one was?
Jerry Kuzma.
Good guess, but no. Walt Terrell.
Oh,
Hit 2 homers in a game.
Terrell was a high draft pick.
Fouled away by Malix.
Malix showed bunt a minute ago in the first pitch, and it looked like I don't know if he was just showing it, but if he was really thinking about a bunt, it looked like he was going to push it to third. I haven't seen him try to drag a bunt to first base yet, and this is where, as a young player, you start paying attention to who's a good fielding first baseman, who's a good fielding second baseman, because if you're dragging it, you're trying to bunt the ball towards second and get it past the mound. So you watch the pitcher, you see how he falls off the mound, how he follows through, and then pick your spot. But you've got to have confidence that you can bunt it to either side to do that.
Bouncing ball up the middle, and if Malix does that, he's going to be just fine up here.
You know it.
So the Braves speedsters aboard with a base hit. That's Atlanta's second hit of the game.
Pitch was up, and again, here's a guy who doesn't throw a sinker, but he's getting a lot of balls chopped into the ground. That one happened to bounce over the pitcher's head.
To your point about Malix remembering or learning who his opponents are. Remember in Washington, his first big league game, he had a book out, notebook.
Yep.
I haven't seen him with that on the bench. I assume he's still keeping it, and I would assume that's information he would put in that book, right?
I would think so, yes.
We'll ask him about that after the game tonight. As Smith aboard.
Jason just pointed out he's not wearing his double flap helmet.
Well, we know what happened the last time that took place. That's when he had the helmet come off his head and cut him in Washington.
Yes.
Required 5 stitches. Velasquez has struck out Nick Markakis twice tonight.
Did a good job of elevating fastballs last time up to get him. Big lead.
And Nick skies one toward left. Lowe's going to gallop in and get this one. And there's the second out. Let's check in with Kelsey.
Yeah, you know, you were talking a little bit about Malix's helmet. You noticed he was wearing that single flap. He started with the single flap, and then he switched over to that double flap, like you mentioned, and I asked him why, and he said, because when he's stealing bases, it's flying off of his head, and we know how much he likes to steal bases. And on that last road trip, I asked why he switched back to the single flap, and he said because they left it in Atlanta, so they didn't have the double flap with him on the road trip. He said that's the only reason.
Stay hot. Here's Ender Inciarte. And another throw to first. Alex keeps on keeping on, batting 9th for Atlanta, secondary leadoff man. In front of Markakis, and now Inciarte with 2 outs. Runner goes. Rupp's throw is not in time. Malix Smith with another steal. That's his 6th.
And the helmet stayed on. He got a good jump. Rupp's throw was the third base side of the base, and that was the difference. You see Gal was trying to sweep that tag over after he caught the ball on the third base side. Good jump.
He can stay healthy. He's going to be a handful for the National League atop a batting order someday soon. It means a run for Inciarte, who's 2 for 10 in the series now. Fly Fly ball left. Low coming on. Got there. And that retires the side. No runs in. A man left. We're headed to the seventh. It's time for tonight's State Farm Instant Replay. Let's head back to Dodger Stadium, where Thor dropped the hammer on the Dodgers not once but twice last night.
He sure did. Noah Syndergaard pleased his teammate Bartolo Colon, and then he thrilled everybody in their dugout by going deep a second time.
Mets won the game last night, and there they are, the Bash brothers. Bartolo Colon pitches tonight against Clayton Kershaw. After Colon hit a home run off James Shields, who's pitching tonight in Milwaukee, Matt Harvey followed in rotation for the Mets. Harvey hit a ball off the wall in San Diego and got back to the dugout and asked Bartolo, "Hey, what'd you think of that swing?" And Bartolo, as all the big home run hitters do nowadays in the major leagues, said to Matt, "I think you need to hit the weight room."
That's good.
Odubel Herrera starts things off for the Phillies. We've reached inning number 7. Bud Norris in his second inning of relief. Just joining us, Aaron Blair gave up 4 runs, 3 earned in 3 2/3 innings, including a home run to Freddie Galvis. A lot of pitches piled up for Blair early in the game. Gave up a single run in the first, and then 3 more in the fourth. Vince Velasquez has fired a 2-hit shutout at the Braves tonight. He has struck out 5. He has 2 hits and a sacrifice at the plate as well. And there's a scorcher into center by Herrera. He's got a 3-hit game.
Yeah, he's been on base 4 times, including the walk, stolen base, and run scored in the first. And his manager, Pete McCannon, was talking about him earlier today as being unorthodox, does things in a different way, but it works, and you don't want to mess with what's working.
8 hits for Philadelphia so far tonight. That brings up Andres Blanco. Blanco at second base, giving Cesar Hernandez a rest. Blanco playing for McCannon as a starter for the 7th time tonight. And that's well off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. And a bit of a rain shower at the start of proceedings tonight. Our game was delayed about 10 minutes. Gentle breeze blowing from left to right. Very comfortable night here at Turner Field. Runner goes, and it's fouled away. A ball and a strike for Blanco. I know we've talked about the Mets a lot, and with good reason. They lead the division by a half game, but there are some troubles for Terry Collins. Wilmer Flores hurt a hamstring. He's going to the DL. Maybe a bigger problem is Steven Matz, their talented young left-handed pitcher, is having some elbow issues that are going to be checked out. And it would be a real shame.
Yeah,
if
I hope not. I hope that's not the case. Like the Braves, the Mets have had their share of elbow and Tommy John issues. Got him. Good move by Bud.
Picked off Herrera. That'll help.
Well, Herrera's not leaving. He's saying, no, I'm not going. Marty Foster's a first base umpire, and he was safe.
Yeah, Pete Buchanan's going to challenge that out call at first, and the angle we showed should say that this one's going to be overturned.
Went around to the side door, Bussy, and tagged on the elbow.
Yep. Call will be overturned. So the Phillies win that challenge. Herrera was right, so he's still alive at first base. That took less than a minute.
Okay, I have an idea.
Yeah.
I'll run it past you and see what you think. Blanco
had no idea what to do.
No, he struck out, and then he was afraid he was going to get one right between the eyes. They ought to. How about creating an award? Good breaking ball for the umpires. For the umpire whose calls are challenged the most, and he had the highest percentage of being right.
Upheld.
Upheld. Call it the Augie Donatelli Award.
Okay.
You know, or the Bruce Fremming Award.
Yeah, why not? My only complaint about replay is at times it seems to take. I'm not knocking the people in New York or how they do it. I'm sure it's an incredibly complex process to which we are not fully informed on how it works. It seems it takes far too long sometimes. It does affect the pace of the game, which is something John Schuerholz said when this whole process started. Their goal was to not have it interfere with the pace of the game. But I hate the fact that there's a bailout that, quote, not enough evidence to change the call. Tell us why.
Yeah.
Hey, we think he was safe. And if you're going to use that not enough evidence, then why have it in the first place? That's the whole purpose of having the replay, because there should be enough evidence to quote unquote get it right. Now, having said that, as that ball's whacked towards short, and there's one, there's two, a double play. The umpires get 95 to 98% of the calls right anyway. So they do deserve an award for that. 4-0, seventh inning stretch. Vincent Velasquez, the Phillies starter, is our Toyota key player tonight.
Yeah, he's had himself quite a night. This is his work on the mound, as he has racked up 5 strikeouts. But he's also had a good night at the plate. Not just 1 hit, but 2, and a good sacrifice bunt.
And this is somewhat uncharted territory for him, as he'll face Freddie Freeman leading off for the Braves in the 7th inning. As it was described by a crew member who shall remain anonymous, after he complete game shutouted the San Diego Padres, he has not pitched more than 6 innings in any other game in the big leagues this year. With his next out, he'll take care of that hurdle. He's thrown just 75 pitches.
Don't you think, though, that it goes to what he did that day? He was so dominant, clearly overpowering the Padres, that it was no problem to leave him in there to keep going, versus any game where he was running up some pitch count. If they can save him some pitches because of those innings that you were talking about earlier, 120 some is his max in his career. I kind of get that with this guy.
It was rumored that this was the target for the Braves when they traded Evan Gattis to Houston. They obviously didn't give him up, as Freddie Freeman has the 3rd Atlanta hit. A clean single up the middle, his first in 3 tries tonight.
Well, maybe this uncharted territory leads to a big inning this inning.
There you go. It's a 4-0 score. And Freddie keeps on swinging a hot bat. I'm going to counter your idea with an idea of my own. Go back to replay.
All right.
If baseball is going to use it, and if they're not going to, or they're going to try to not interfere with the pace of game, we have a clock for the pitching coach to go to the mound. 30 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know that New York is watching every game. They have the capability to rewind all these plays and replay angles very quickly. If we're worried about pace of game, why not put a clock on the replay? Maximum 1 minute.
1 minute.
If you can't come up with a decision, the play stands.
Yes, I agree. I love it. If you can't figure it out in 1 minute, you're not going to figure it out.
Right. Kelly's walked and bounced out. And Adam Morgan would certainly agree with that idea. Remember, we talked about that at the series opener. He had a game against the Cardinals where it took 5 minutes for New York to figure out whether the ball was fair or foul. Took him completely out of rhythm. Dramatically affected the pace of the game, and he was wiped out after that. A strike at the knees, 2-1. KJ then AJ for Atlanta, which trails 4-0. All helps accepted.
He's thrown that changeup several times tonight. It hasn't been a great changeup. His curveball has been better.
And he just issued his 2nd walk. Kelly Johnson's the man he walked both times. So AJ Pierzynski's coming up. 2 on, nobody out. Great chance for the Braves. Atlanta trying to come back. We hope to talk about a series win afterwards. Braves Live presented by Xfinity will follow us. Jerome and Matt Diaz will have post-game duties on Fox tonight.
You wondered early in the game if he was going to be able to maintain the velocity, Chip, and that at bat in which he walked Kelly topped out at 93. So we'll see if he's able to bump it back up in the 95-96 range. But it has fallen off a little bit.
Milestone game for AJ Pierzynski, his 2000th in his major league career. And he looks outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Never know if this 6th inning barrier may be in the back of Velasquez's head.
It's almost not fair to break that pitch out after you get ahead in the count. You're sitting dead red fastball.
One ball, one strike. Up and away.
David Hernandez is loosening up in the Phillies pen.
Just missed. 3 balls and a strike.
He didn't get the call on Kelly, and he didn't say anything, but that time he motioned to Mike Winters. Was that outside?
Little looper into right. That's going to drop for a hit. And the Braves are going to have the bases loaded with nobody out. Hitting in 2 double plays. And Bob McClure, pitching coach, is going to come talk it over.
AJ got up on top of that one. Didn't square it up, and probably just as well that he didn't, to drop it in front of Borges.
So the Braves pecking away in 2 singles and a walk here in the 7th. Got action, a chance to spoil the shutout bid, but Atlanta looking for so much more with Gordon Beckham up there.
Chance for a big inning.
Freeman, Kelly Johnson, A.J. Przinsky on the bases. Gordon Beckham is in the batter's box. Fly ball headed for the gap. That's going to get down. 2-run score. Here comes A.J. They're going to wave him. There'll be no play. Beckham doubles home 3, and we got a 1-run game.
Boy, did that ball jump off his bat. He got the barrel out on that one. Two double plays hit in 2, and he had a little hard time getting around on that fastball. He didn't miss that one.
And Vincent Velasquez, brilliant through 6, and it all come apart here in the 7th. 3 runs are in, tying run in scoring position as Atlanta's in the Phillies bullpen. Happy birthday for that youngster, and boy, what a special day for Gordon Beckham and Connor Meadows. Remember, Gordon with the date with the Make-A-Wish youngster today. Well, he answered some wishes with that bases clearing double to make it a one-run game.
I don't know if Velasquez and Rupp were trying to fool him after getting him to hit into 2 double plays with fastballs. That wasn't a fastball. That was a hanging breaking ball. It was like put it on a tee for him.
So David Hernandez on to pitch. Jeff Francoeur is in the batter's box for Buck Norris, who worked 2 scoreless innings. Hernandez bothered with some elbow problems earlier in the spring. Gave up a rocket to right. Here comes Beckham. Pinch hit for Francoeur, ties it up. How satisfying is that at bat for Jeff Francoeur?
Well, you would think that if anybody knows Jeff Francoeur is a first pitch fastball hitter, it would be the Phillies. And against the right-hander, goes the other way to try to get Beckham over to third. He did one better. He got him in. Another pinch hit for Francoeur.
So how about the Braves? Their largest deficit overcome was 3 runs. They've come back from 4-0 to tie it. 4 hits and a walk here in the 7th, and still nobody out. And Daniel Castro in the batter's box. No chance for Velasquez to win this game. As dominant as he was through 6, again, it all came apart here in the 7th. Daniel Castro up for the 2nd time. Tries to bunt. And he got it down. It's going to trickle foul. 0-2.
David Hernandez, no day at the beach either, coming in throwing 93 to 96 with a slider. This one was right on the chalk for a moment.
Boy, it all worked out beautifully for the Braves in this inning. Beckham with a bases clearing double. Jeff Francoeur, who led all hitters in the big leagues with 11 pinch hits last year. A game tying pinch hit single. And now he's at first with 1 out, as Castro was late. There's the first out of the inning.
That's tough at bat for Daniel. He's expected to do the little things that you need him to do when his turn comes up. He was unable to get that button out.
Alex Smith has a 1-for-2 game. He singled and stole a base last time up. Freddie Freeman singled to start the inning. Kelly Johnson walked. AJ with a blue pit to right. Beckham and Francoeur with run-scoring hits. Now after the strikeout, we're tied 4-4 in the Atlanta 7th. Bouncing ball. They're going to have to hurry to turn this one, and they do. So Hernandez gives up the game-tying hit. Beckham and Francoeur, 2 Georgia boys, got it done for Atlanta. And after 7, we're all square. It's a 4-4 score in Game 3 with the Phillies. For the first time to the general public, SunTrust Park season tickets are on sale now. Get your seats by this Friday and be among the first to get an exclusive behind-the-scenes hard hat tour of SunTrust Park. It's a great experience. You won't forget it. Go to Braves.com/SunTrust Park right now. Braves have tied it up with 4 in the 7th. And we go to the 8th. And Hunter Cervenka becomes the 4th Atlanta pitcher.
You know, we start talking about all these young pitchers the Braves have. We need to start including this guy in the conversation too. All he's done is in his first 14 appearances, he hasn't allowed a run. That's the longest streak to start a career in Atlanta history. And he hasn't given up a hit to the last 33 guys he's faced. 9 1/3 innings total with only 1 hit allowed.
And he's got Ryan Howard leading things off. And that's low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Howard 0 for 2 with a walk and a run score. He is 3 for 24 at the plate for the Phillies on this extended road trip. And that missed. Ball 2. Blair started, 4 runs, 3 earned in 3 2/3 innings. Flaherty, Norris, and now Cervenka on in relief. All 4 runs scored by the Braves came off Vince Velasquez, who was virtually unhittable through 6.
Howard 2 for 12 against lefties.
Little roller, and that'll be easy for out number 1. 6-3 is the put out. That was Daniel Castro that gloved it. And here's Freddie Galvis with a 2-run homer to highlight his night. Galvis switch hits. And a 200 hitter from the right side of the plate. That's over the screen, back our way, foul. Ball 1 strike. Braves have beaten the Phillies 7 of the last meetings head to head and 8 of 10 here at Turner Field. How about that swing? It was kind of like Freddie Freeman's swing against Velasquez.
Yeah, he had already pretty much given up on it. And that curveball came back to the plate and he had to swing. Or felt the need to anyway. Now he'll have to with 2 strikes.
He got him. AJ held on. Galvis is struck out. 2 up, 2 down for Cervenka.
Good pitch again. I talk a lot about that back point of home plate. That is such a great spot for the Braves catchers to catch any pitch, any breaking ball, any off-speed pitch because of the location of it. Looks like a strike.
Cameron Rupp is the Phillies catcher. He has struck out twice in 3 trips. It's amazing too for novice fans and folks who don't follow baseball an awful lot how many strikes you get that aren't strikes when they get to the strike zone. They look tantalizing.
You're right.
And the hitter just flat out misses them. 1 ball, 1 strike. fans headed for the seats. And Rupp is behind the count 1-2. Braves will have the top of their order coming up in the 8th. Markakis, Inciarte, and Freddie Freeman again. See if Cervenka can keep momentum in the Atlanta dugout.
Rupp's just 3 for his last 21. And he has swung at some bad pitches tonight when he was struck out.
Full count. To short. Castro had him played perfectly. Boy, the Braves shifting has been noticeable, and it's been awfully effective on this homestand. Cervenka continues his brilliant work, and the top of the order tries to take the lead when we come back.
Tied ball game going into the home half of the 8th, and it's time for your Xfinity minor league update as we continue to keep you updated with our minor league system. The organizational players of the month for the Braves. Your starting pitcher up here tonight, Aaron Blair, was the AAA pitcher of the month. And then you see Rio Ruiz. We've heard plenty about him this year. And, of course, Ozzie Albies and Dansby Swanson making the list on their respective ball clubs. And then down there in Rome, you see Mike Soroka is the pitcher of the month alongside Jeremy Morales. So a lot of excitement in these minor league systems, guys.
You're right about that, Kelsey. One more name. Joe's talked a lot about Dustin Peterson and what a good hitter he is. He needs a single to hit for the cycle tonight. Great for Mississippi, so we'll try to keep an eye on that and let you know if Dustin gets it. See if Atlanta can get to Hector Neris, the man with that nasty split finger pitch.
Mike Soroka's been doing really good work at Rome. Got pitcher of the month. Hopefully he can keep that up. Might find himself in a move up. Neris, the new pitcher, the guy with the split finger pitch we talked about here on Tuesday night. And it's a split finger pitch that almost acts like a knuckleball.
This guy's been awfully tough. Of the 80 hitters he's faced this year, he's struck out 28 of them. And in 21 innings, there have only been 18 base runners against Neris. And he's rallied to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. That ball pops away from Rupp, but Markakis will be tagged out. 1 away in the Atlanta 8th.
Rare 3 strikeout night for Nick.
Enciarte's 0 for 3. Phillies bullpen averaging over a strikeout per inning pitched. At one point had a 20-inning scoreless streak. Their 3.24 ERA, 4th best in the league since April 9th. Bounding ball foul past Howard, even count. To the right side, Howard gloves, backhanded flip, and Neris got to the bag. Wow, what a play.
That was an amazingly good play by Ryan Howard. This was just a flare over there, and he happened to lead him just enough that Neris could grab it and then at that point still find the bag. It's almost by the base.
Almost like an Allen Iverson no-look pass from Ryan Howard. And that's the second out. And it brings up Freddie Freeman.
First time they've ever been mentioned in the same sentence.
Here's Freddie. And that's outside. Practice? We're talking about practice. Great press conferences in sports history. Allen Iverson, the pitch. And Freddie didn't get the heat. The shift, and Ryan Howard to his right makes the play, and that retires the side. Neris, a perfect inning. We head to the 9th. Now you can stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app. Log in and watch the live stream. Now you can take the Braves wherever you go. And tonight we go to the 9th inning. We are tied 4-4. The Braves with a 4th spot in the 7th. Chased Vincent Velasquez. And now Atlanta will turn to Arodys Vizcaíno to keep it tied at 4.
He pitched here last night. And then he gave up a couple of hits, but able to pitch around them and get a strikeout to preserve the win for the Braves. It was not a safe situation. The Braves won the game 5-1. But he gave up back-to-back hits to Herrera and Hernandez in the 9th.
He'll have David Lowe, then the pitcher, then Peter Borges. And Cesar Hernandez is the man on deck for the Phillies here in the 9th. 4-4 game. Philadelphia with 8 hits, the Braves with 6, each team with an error. One ball, no strikes for David Lowe, who is 0 for 2 and has been hit by a pitch. That's out of play left side. And a fan from Milton made the play. In the top of the 9th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another good inning for Hunter Cervenka in relief. A scoreless inning with a strikeout. And the Braves bullpen to this point hasn't given up anything to the Phillies. Walk him. 3 balls and a strike. Full count.
Yeah, it's all about coming in and throwing strikes out of the bullpen. Good work tonight by Eric O'Flaherty and Bud Norris, and Hunter Cervenka with a 1-2-3-8.
It's lifted to the left side, foul, and still a full count. Lifted towards shallow right. Long run Markakis. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Great sliding catch for out number
1. Nick had to go a long way for that one. Nice slide too. Nice job to kind of cushion his glove when he hit the ground so it didn't bounce out.
And roadies like that, as you'd expect. Here's Cesar Hernandez. Strike 1.
The Phillies have no less than 4 pinch hitters on their team, which is a real advantage this time of the game when you've got to use some guys against other teams' closers. And you can use left or right-handed. Now they have another switch hitter on their team, so I should say 5. But that other one is Vincent Velasquez, who's listed as a switch hitter, but he didn't bat left-handed tonight.
And it's off the plate for Hernandez. 2-1 your count.
Braves have 1 switch hitter, and that's Eric Ibar.
2 balls and a strike. Well, that is such a great sequence when you can throw 96 and then drop an 82-mile-an-hour pitch in.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Oh, unless you're a hitter. 10 o'clock in Atlanta. 9th inning, tie game. Swing and a miss. There's out number 2.
Seven strikeouts for Braves pitchers tonight. 5 by the bullpen.
And here's Peter Borges. Borges a 1-4-3 game.
Borges' dad is a scout for a major league team for the Padres. So he grew up in a baseball family.
And if you missed the news yesterday, the Braves made a deal with the Angels. Julius Chassin was sent to the Halos, and we wish Julius well. He pitched good baseball here in Atlanta. Angels desperate for pitching with all the injuries they have racked up here in the last couple of weeks. Screen, 2 balls and a strike.
The way Borges can run makes you wonder, and I don't know. I would assume he spent some time on the track as a sprinter, but typically track season and baseball season overlap, so he may not have been an opportunity unless he ran some indoor track in the wintertime.
What do you think of that? Swing and a miss. Yeah, we saw him 4 or 5 years ago in Anaheim, and both of us thought, wow, this guy's the next big thing in center field.
Yeah, he was tracking everything down at the Big A, and he was also hitting some extra base hits, as I recall, and we couldn't get over his stride, but can't steal first.
A perfect night for Vizcaino. A chance for the Braves to walk off. 4-4 in the ninth. And win in the bottom of the ninth inning. That's because of a furious 7th inning rally. Freddie Freeman started with a base hit up the middle against Vincent Velasquez after Kelly Johnson walked. A.J. Brzezinski came up and hit a blooper into right. The drop to load the bases. That brought up Gordon Beckham, who had hit the 2 double plays. He then split the gap in left center that scored 3 runs. That ended the night for Velasquez with the Braves down a run. David Hernandez came in. First pitch, center cut fastball. Frank Coeur didn't miss it. A pinch hit single brought home Beckham. That tied it at 4. Braves bullpen hasn't given up anything, and now we head to the bottom of the ninth.
How about Gordon Beckham blowing bubbles rounding third, heading home? That was funny.
I love it. So Kelly Johnson, a Phillies killer, has walked twice, scored once. And he's got Elvis Arrojo on the mound in the 9th inning. This guy is nasty. Little pop into center. Herrera broke back now. He's there to make the play. There's the first out.
Yeah, you saw those numbers against left-handed hitters. He's not giving up anything to them, but there are also a lot of walks in there where he can certainly take one of those.
Well, it's game number 2000 for A.J. Brzezinski. How about a walk-off piece? A.J. looking for his first homer of the year. Takes one downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. That's out of play.
Got a pretty good pitch to hit there and just went right through it. 92 to 94 the fastball. Slider, hard slider.
Another good cut by A.J. That one at 93 miles an hour. Fly ball to center. Another chance for Odubel Herrera. 2 outs.
Big hit of the night belongs to this man. Maybe he can come through with another one. Doubled his RBI numbers from 3 to 6. He was swinging the bat well. When he strained that hamstring, he's come back swinging it well.
And a base hit the other way for Gordon Beckham. Winning runs on for Atlanta. And Chase Darno grabs a bat. He's going to come on and hit for Vizcaino.
Fastball got on top of it. Nice swing the other way.
That's the end of the line for Elvis Arrojo. 2/3 of an inning with a hit. Well, tomorrow night the Braves play over on Fox Sports South. Hope you'll join us and catch the action as Atlanta heads to Kansas City to take on the defending World Series champion Royals. Our coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern on Fox Sports South, home of the Braves, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Good matchup tomorrow night. Julio Teheran and Edinson Volquez in the first of three from beautiful Kauffman Stadium. This is Andrew Bailey, his 7th game. Braves have the winning run aboard, but with 2 outs, and he'll face Chase Darnode in a pinch hit assignment.
This guy was American League Rookie of the Year in 2009 with Oakland. Got traded to Boston, and since then it has been nothing but disabled list after disabled list, including missing all of the 14 season with shoulder surgery. .26 saves in that 09 season when he was Rookie of the Year. Low 90s with a cutter off his fastball, curveball, and a slider.
Darno's done a nice job since he came up from Gwinnett on May 2nd. He's riding a 3-game hitting streak. 3 hits in 9 at-bats over that stretch. Outfield very deep for the Phillies. 1-strike pitch. And time call. Balk.
That's big.
Andrew Bailey just balked. He thought time had been called, but apparently not. So the winning run in scoring position now.
I think it was from not pausing, Chip. I think he was bringing his hands down and kind of bounced with his hands, and when you do that, they're going to call it every time. That's a huge play.
You bet. It means a run and maybe an Atlanta win. No balls at a strike for Darno. Now the outfield has to shorten up a bit. On a base hit, they've got to come up ready to fire to the plate to get Beckham. No wind to speak of here in the 9th. Pitch won't be made. Close at 2nd.
Bailey did that because he's having trouble seeing the signs from Rupp.
Popped up, had him reaching for it. And Franco at third base is there, and that retires the side. So Bailey works around the balk and the 2-out single. Free baseball in Atlanta. 4-4 your score.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Extra inning records this year. Atlanta 2-4. The Phillies are 3-0. In free baseball games, Jason Grilli is on to pitch for Atlanta. He's the 5th reliever of Aaron Blair tonight.
Jason has not pitched in this series, but he was in 2 games against Arizona. An inning each time out, 2 hits total, no runs or walks, struck out 4, including striking out the side his last time out on May 8th.
Last 3 outings for Grilli, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk. So we said at the time, especially after his last outing, that Jason Grilli's slowly but surely looking more and more like the Jason Grilli we really admired and appreciated in the first half of the year last year.
You know, the same could be said, I think, about Adam Wainwright and his Achilles injury. There was a lot expected from him coming back after a full offseason of rehab and strengthening, but he wasn't right, and it's taken him about 6 starts for Adam to get back where he thought he should be.
And the luxury for a starting pitcher is you give up a run or 2 early, you usually have 5 or 6 more to pitch yourself into shape. That's not a luxury for a relief pitcher.
No, it's an inning at a time.
Well, the top of the order greets Grilli in the 10th.
Yeah, that's more Jason Grilli like those last 6. Plus, Jason's injury was in July. Wainwright's was early May.
Got to find a way to retire Herrera tonight. A perfect night at the plate. 3 singles, a walk, a stolen base, and a first inning run tonight. Swinging a fly ball to right. Markakis going back, still going back. He can't get it. It's off the wall. Herrera around second. He's on his way to third. He's going to slide in with a triple. Herrera really cut the bag closely at the second base intersection. I wonder if he missed the second base bag.
Braves bench is wondering the same thing, Chip. Gosh, he just golfed that off the ground. Breaking ball, but look how low it was when he went down and got it. And got it over Markakis' head. Keep an eye out here at the base. Yeah, he was looking into right field. He wasn't looking down at the base, kind of stutter stepped. Looks like he got it. Looked like you could see the base vibrate.
I saw the stutter step and wondered if maybe he missed it. Sadly, he didn't. And now it's a leadoff triple. The infield has to come in with Andres Blanco up there. Blanco 1 for 4. So a perfect night for Herrera at the plate. And pop back foul toward us, strike 1.
About the only thing you can say about that is it stayed in the ballpark. So he's at third, but you've got to really do some serious pitching here to keep him from scoring.
Blanco got hit by a pitch. That doesn't help. First and third. Still nobody out.
Back of the right arm. They wanted it in, but not that far in. He needed an out there with the heart of the rotor coming up, especially with Franco.
So Andy White, as he might be called, is going to have a black and blue mark on his arm.
Yes, he is.
As he stands at first for Michael Franco. Franco a sac fly in the first inning. Fly ball here could score Herrera and put the Phillies in front. As Grilli comes set, the Braves shift 3 defenders left side of the infield. And he whacks that one foul, headed for the upper deck.
Ryan Howard on deck. The Braves have their third lefty up, Ian Kroll, just in case. Braves are not playing for a double play. There's Kroll. They're still coming home.
He's got him set up now, 0-2. And you're right, Joe, this guy, he's relentless in his approach.
He is. You can say one thing about it, he's consistent about just swinging for everything he's worth on every cut.
So how can really exploit that with first and third, nobody out?
Well, you know, the danger of an off-speed pitch, even with the big swinger like this, is with a big hole on the right side. He could get fooled and just poke it through the right side and get the run in. They're going away. But the pitch was in.
If Grilly tries to get a strike by not throwing one, A.J. Brzezinski's got to block everything in the dirt.
He does. That last pitch was not a bad miss. It was one that was in to keep him honest a little bit. Everything there you see on Fox Tracks has been up.
Struck him out. Really muscled up and struck out Franco, who couldn't make contact. Now Ryan Howard is coming up, and Freddie Gonzalez will go bring Ian Kroll into the game. You got the left hand hitting Howard, the switch hitting Freddie Galvis next, and the Braves still have a shot to keep this thing tied. First and third, one out. Back for more fun in Atlanta after this. Couple of times already in the early days of this season how dramatically a roster can change. Remember, the Braves left spring training concerned they may not have any lefties. What a luxury it is for Freddie Gonzalez now to have 3 of them, especially in a game like this and against a team like Philadelphia.
No question. It's a great luxury. There are his numbers at Gwinnett, and he pitched an inning here 2 nights ago and got a strikeout, gave up a single. And something you've never seen before, at least against the Braves that I can remember, a pinch hitter for Ryan Howard. Darren Ruff is going to pinch hit. He faced Kroll the other night and struck out. There's who's left. Reed Brignac on the bench along with Tyler Flowers and one guy in the bullpen, Alexi Ogando.
And this is something that Pete Mackanin talked about with Ryan Howard this year. It's about production at this point in time. Ruff is the right-hand hitting complement to Ryan Howard at first base. And he launches the first pitch on a play. Strike 1 from Ian Kroll. Ruff hitting a .161. And just like that, it's 0-2.
He's hacking at those fastballs too, as any pinch hitter worth his salt would do, but he hasn't been able to catch up. 93 on that last one from Kroll.
Strike 3 call. What a pitch. What a sequence. 2 strikeouts by the Phillies big boppers in a spot where all they needed was a fly ball. 2 out.
How about that pitch? I mean, a stiff fastball, had a little bit of tailing action, caught the inside corner. 93. Outstanding.
One more hurdle. It's Freddie Galvis. Whoa. That looked pretty good. One ball, no strikes. Cameron Rupp, the catcher, is on deck. A leadoff triple, a hit batsman. Grilli then struck out Franco. Ruff struck out against Kroll, and now Galvis, a 2-0 pitch. He's hit a homer tonight. I wouldn't lay one in there to this guy. 3-0. And a 4-pitch walk loads him up.
That doesn't bother me at all, with this exception, that now you have no room for another free pass. You have no room for a mistake with the bases loaded. But Galvis is a guy, you're right, Chip, that he's been too clutch against the Braves in the past. And Rupp has had a rough night. 0 for 4, couple of strikeouts.
Bases loaded, 2 outs for the Phillies. And an outside corner strike. Again, a ball in the dirt. AJ's got to block it because Herrera is about 30 feet down the third base line with every pitch.
And you got a slow runner at the plate. If you have to dive and knock a ball down, you're going to have time to get up and throw him out at first. If you can get your feet under you.
Line drive, base hit. 2 runs are going to score. Here comes Galvis to third. They're going to bring him around, and Rupp with 2 outs doubles and brings home 3. And the Phillies, with 2 outs, break it open in the 10th. That's crying shame.
Yes, it is. Breaking ball, not a whole lot, unlike the one that was thrown to Gordon Beckham that had the middle of the plate out over the plate. And with Galvis, the runner from first, he goes all the way around.
So 2 of those runs belong to Jason Grilli. Galvis is Kroll's responsibility, and now David Lowe bats 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. So 7-4 Phillies, and quickly 0-2. Strike 3 outside corner ends the inning. The Phillies get a triple, a hit batsman, a walk to load him up, and then Cameron Rupp doubles home 3 to give the Phillies a 7-4 lead. game. 3 runs in the 4th, 3 runs in the 10th. Now turn things over to Jeanmar Gomez. He will try to protect a 7-4 lead in the 10th inning, and he'll have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for the Braves.
He's done a good job for these guys. 12 out of 13 in save opportunities. And when you think they've only got 19 wins, I'd say he's been very steady for them. Only 5 walks to 15 strikeouts in almost 20 innings. And a nice 3-run lead to boot. Low 90s fastball, slider, and an excellent changeup. Ruff stays in the game to play first.
So while Gomez continues his warm-up tosses, hope you'll stay tuned for Braves Live presented by Xfinity. Braves hope to have a big 10th inning comeback to talk about as Atlanta tries to win its first home series of the year.
Need base runners. Put some guys on base for Freddie.
Daniel Castro will lead off the 10th. And a quick strike. And Philadelphia unbeaten in extra innings play. They're 3-0. That's hit towards second slowly. And there's the first out. Blanco takes care of Castro. 1 away. Here's Mallex Smith. Mallex has a hit in 3 tries. He also stole his 6th base. In case you wonder, the Braves rookie record for stolen bases in 1 season is 40. Rafael Furcal. I would imagine with 129 games left, if Mallex is up here the rest of the way, he's got a shot.
Difference is that Furcal, a switch hitter, played every day. A lot more at bats, a lot more opportunities.
0-1 for Mallex. And that's a little low for an even count.
That day, I mean, it remains to be seen if Mallex is going to be in there every day at some point. Not saying he won't, but at the moment, he is more or less platooning.
That's in the air toward Herrera in center. And that's out number 2. Nick Markakis, the final hope. And as Joe said earlier, a rare 3-strikeout game for the Braves right field. Will probably be the designated hitter tomorrow night when the Braves take aim at Edinson Volquez in Kansas City. Ground ball to second, and that's going to do it. The Philadelphia Phillies with a 3-run 10th. Survive in Atlanta. They blew a 4-0 lead, came back to win it in extra innings. And the Philadelphia Phillies have won 20 games this year and head home after a very long road stretch with a winning road trip. 7-4 your final. We'll recap it after this.